Hello everyone and welcome back to the X-Ring. I hope you're doing well today. Man, I have something special for you guys. You guys know that I reviewed the Haenels, the sniper rifles when I was in Ewa in Nuremberg, and it was an awesome time meeting everyone there. It really was a great event. But what we have is a Hanel. This is the CR-223, and yes, it is in the United States. Guys, there were a small handful of these imported by B&T a few years ago, and it was really tough to get one of these in hand. We're able to acquire one of these, and it's a really unique rifle. So what we're going to do is we're going to review it. We're going to talk about what makes it so unique. It's similar to the HK416 in some ways, but different in so many others. So if you're interested in the Haenel CR-223, stick around. All right, so in the US, not many people are going to be familiar with the Hanel rifles. I will tell you it is very similar to an HK416, like the first gen, okay? And more on that in just a minute, but the reason is you don't have an adjustable gas system. For those that also don't know, Hanel is owned by the UAE or Caracal, okay? So starting at the muzzle and working our way back, you do have what looks like, basically like the Surefire or the B&T style flash hider on this, okay? Because it is extended, it does have the little slot here, so if you wanted to use it, would like the B&T, the clamp-on can, you could. And this is what's nice. I think they did a better job with this than they did with the HK, but there is a detent button right here, and if you press this, you can swing this lever down, and this allows you to take this full free-floating handguard off. It is that simple. Super nice. Now, when you look on the piston system, what does this look like? It looks just like an HK416. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lock this bolt to the rear. I'm going to let you guys see this. If we pull this push rod system out, guys, that looks like it's straight off of a 416. Now the ribbing right here is a little bit different, but the piston system itself looks almost identical. For those that are familiar with H&K, you know, a lot of the design engineers that worked with H&K on the 416 actually left the company and started working for some other companies, one of which was Caracal, which is all part of this Hanel group. And some of this is supposing, but I've seen enough with the Caracal, like the 816, they are very similar in their platform. You guys can look at the gas block. This gas block looks like it's straight off an HK416, but some things change when we get down to this receiver. So when we look into the receiver, it has some really cool features that I like, okay? So starting at the front here and working our way rearwards, you do have this removable insert, which you've seen on some other ARs. This is not groundbreaking, but this is where that cam rotates inside of that AR, that aluminum upper. So you have a steel insert, so after years of use, when that starts to gall out, because it will on all the manufacturers, you can replace it. You're also going to see on the upper receiver that there is an insert here that is held on with an Allen, and this is a replaceable steel piece so that you're not galling that upper receiver with the aluminum charging handle when it clamps onto this to keep it in the kept position or the kept position. Now on the lower receiver, it's a standard lower receiver. It's got a generous mag well, looks really nice, has some jimping up front or some texturing up front. You do have the enlarged, what looks like the maritime bolt release in the L shape, so that you've got a great way to be able to lock or unlock the bolt release. And you do have an ambidextrous magazine release on the left side. Also on this left side, you'll see that you have C-clip retained trigger pins. This is unidirectional, so you're going to have to take those C-clips out, or you're going to have to drive those out, and they just push in directly from the other side. You have a really nice safety here, works really well. These are actually pinned in, so that's not going to be something that's easy to remove, and this does have what I would consider a service grade trigger on it. It's a very heavy trigger. It is a 2-stage, but it is a pretty heavy trigger. Just like that. Let me go ahead and put the handguard on, and we're going to continue. All right, just putting the handguard on and rotating that, it is solid, it's not moving. If we go over to the right side, what you're gonna see is a plastic dust cover, just like what you see on a lot of the modern rifles nowadays. And when you get into the bolt carrier group, it's very similar to the HK. It doesn't have the overboarding feature where it's got the slit, but as far as the push system on the carrier key and then also the spring firing pin, it all looks like it's HK. You also have a bolt hold as well as a bolt release on the right side, and then also another generous safety on here. So very, very nice setup. It's not something that you see a lot of. I do have this topped off with the Night Force. This is the NX8 1-8 with a Geisley 0 MOA mount. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna shoot a couple rounds out of it. It's not that it can't be shot or anything else. Now guys, this is in an SBR configuration because it does have a 10.5-inch barrel. This will end up being a machine gun here shortly, but I did want to give you guys a review on it. So what I'm going to do is I'll shoot some at 100, 200, maybe 300, get those down range just to let you see what it cycles like. I will tell you, with this piston system, I did notice that it does have a little more felt recoil than, let's say, my Mark 18 with a direct impingement system. It's just the nature of push rods. When you're dealing with non-direct impingement systems, you do have a little bit of a harsher recoil, at least to what I felt. But let's go ahead and shoot it and see if we can get some rounds on target at, let's say, 100, 200, and 300 yards. We'll just do it offhand and see how it feels. All right, guys, so we have a couple rounds here of the Black Arc munitions, the 5.56. And remember, this is a shorter rifle. And, you know, guys, a lot of people don't realize that on these Night Force, these cap covers, if they're getting in your field of view, all you have to do is turn them inside out and they'll kind of hug the scope. So what we're going to do is we're just going to shoot, we'll shoot a couple like this. I'll do 100 yards. That's an impact at 100. And then now we'll do 200. That's an impact. I think there's one at 3 over here. We'll see if I can hit it. Just off left. And that's an impact. Let's see if we can take it out to 600 with this 10.5. Probably very little chance, but I'm going to try. Here we go. Hey, Sydney, what was your dope at 600? 224. Let me try 5. That was 600 yards, guys. So I'm holding 5 mils at 600. Let's try it again. This is an IPSC. That was a hit again. You guys aren't going to be able to hear that on the mic. Oh, I saw the dust on that. So it does have a lot more recoil than most of your standards, but I am sure this is a solid platform or they wouldn't have put their name on it. Guys, this is actually a cool little rifle. Let's see if we can shoot a couple more rounds. Man, this thing is a hammer, but like I said, it does have a little more recoil, and I think it would do great if it had a suppressor on there, but we're probably going to be overgassed with this system. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that quick review of the Haenel, the CR-223. Like I said, a handful of these were imported by B&T, and it is a great setup. Hope you guys take care. Have a good one. Come see us out at the gathering this weekend. We'll talk to you soon.